Hi everyone, and oh, that's disgusting. Hey, what's up you guys? Yes. I'm like nervous for this video. Okay, so today I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different. I don't know why I'm so excited. But today I'm gonna be talking about something that is I really know it really well, and that is sleep paralysis. Yeah, I'm just gonna be talking about what it is and my personal experiences with it. So I hope you guys enjoy this video.
Why aren't you scared of me? Why do you care for me? When we all fall asleep, where do we go?
If I'm looking down a lot, it's because I have my computer right here with a document of all the information I want to talk about. So let's just get right into it. So the first thing is, what is sleep paralysis? I know that a lot of people have it and it's a very common thing that happens to a lot of people, but not a lot of people know what it is. I know for a fact that when I first started having it, I didn't know what it was. So sleep paralysis, according to WebMD, is a feeling of being conscious but unable to move. It occurs when a person passes between the stages of wakefulness and sleep. During these transitions, they may be unable to move or speak for a few seconds, up to a few minutes. Some people may also feel pressure or a sense of choking, especially on the chest. Sleep paralysis is said to occur when the brain and body aren't on the same page. When it comes to sleep during rapid eye movement, which is a stage of sleep known as REM. Because the brain and body aren't on the same page, if the brain doesn't give the order to the muscles lay dormant, means like they don't move, while our mind is stirred to consciousness. So our mind's awake, but like our body is completely paralyzed and we're like frozen. Because to move our muscles, our brain sends signals to our like body and stuff to be able to move, and if they're not connecting and they're not getting consent, then our minds are awake and we're awake, but our muscles aren't moving at all. So this leads to a sense of paralysis. I know a lot of people will wonder like, how do you get it? Like, what triggers it? And there are a few different factors that can trigger sleep paralysis: stress and anxiety, trauma or post-traumatic stress disorder, sleep problems such as sleep deprivation or irregular sleep patterns, substance use such as drugs, alcohol, all that, sleep disorders such as narcolepsy and just really intense nightmares, physical illness, paranormal and mystical beliefs, and a family history of sleep paralysis. I know specifically for me and my experiences, I fall under a few of these categories. Stress and anxiety definitely are one of the most common things that people have and that can lead to sleep paralysis. And my family does have a history of sleep paralysis. My mom actually used to have it a lot back maybe a few years ago. She says she doesn't get it as much anymore, but yeah, that's definitely like the history behind, for me, my mom had it, so that's probably where it came from. Sleep paralysis can't necessarily kill you, but something that can come from it is a lot of stress and anxiety, and definitely sleep deprivation. People get scared of sleeping because they know that as soon as they fall asleep or when they're waking up, sleep paralysis will hit them and they'll see all these crazy things, and that terrifies people and it gives people trauma and stress, and that can lead to definitely not wanting to sleep, which is really bad for your mental health and physical health. Now that I've talked about what sleep paralysis is and how you can get it, I'm going to talk about its history. So sleep paralysis actually goes back to the first civilization of Mesopotamia in 2000 BCE. It emerged from the myth of Incubus, this demon that was responsible for bad dreams. Originating from the Latin phrase to sit on, the incubus sat on top of your chest, inducing horrifying dreams and physical immobility. So just bad dreams and being paralyzed. This was said to be the first documented explanation of sleep paralysis. A lot of people don't believe in like the supernatural side of sleep paralysis, and they also don't believe in like the medical aspect or the science behind it. So it's really like an opinion-based thing. A lot of people want to believe that it is real demons and things like that, and that's probably what leads to a lot of sleep deprivation and anxiety, if you believe it's supernatural. Personally, for me, I more believe the science behind it because of the experiences I've had, but I know that if you have a certain experience, it's going to lead to one thing. Right now, I'm going to get talking about my personal experiences and stories behind my sleep paralysis, and that is definitely going to showcase why I believe in the more science side of it, because I haven't had so many supernatural experiences with it, but there are people that's all they have and all they see is demons. So I understand where people might believe the more supernatural aspect of it. Okay, so now that I've explained everything you need to know about sleep paralysis, including its history, I'm gonna talk about my experiences. I just want to put it out there that sometimes I have it days back to back. Sometimes I have it for months on end, like I don't have it at all for months. And sometimes I have it like once every month. So it really just varies. The last time I had it, since I'm recording this today, was on Monday, March 4th. So I had it 4 days ago. Yeah, it wasn't, I'm gonna just get into it so you guys can understand where I'm at right now with it. So the first time I ever had sleep paralysis was back in around 2015 to 2016. I didn't live here. We actually lived in a different place, so I didn't have it here the first time. When I was first having it, I didn't know what sleep paralysis was, so it was extremely terrifying. I just remember waking up and everything was pitch black. My room was extremely dark. I always sleep with the lights off, so I can't see anything. And I remember waking up and opening my eyes and not being able to move at all. It was just, I sleep on my side, so like I don't sleep on my back. I just want to put that out there. So I woke up on my side and I remember not being able to move, and I was panicking. I thought I was dying. I didn't know what was going on. It was really scary not being able to move or talk, and I remember just wanting to scream and nothing came out and no one was helping me. So I was like, oh my god, I'm dying. And like, it was honestly one of the most terrifying things I've ever experienced in my life, because I didn't know what it was, and if you had get it for the first time, you probably don't know what it is either. So I think it's important to kind of know what it is. That way, if it ever happens to you, you know what to do in that situation. I just remember, I'm not a very religious person, but I remember I started praying. I was like, God, please forgive me for all my sins. Like, I don't want to go to hell. Like, I'm not a bad person. Like, I was just praying and I was like, I'm sorry, I apologize for all the sins I've made in my life. And I remember I was just like, I'm gonna die right now. And then eventually I got out of it and I was like, oh my god, like I was like, thank you. And I remember just laying there like, that really just happened. Like, what was that? I didn't know what it was. And the second time I got it, I still didn't know what it was, but now that I had experienced it, I knew kind of like, okay, it's gonna go away. I still had that fear in the back of my mind, but I knew like, okay, just lay here and hopefully it'll go away and you'll be okay, just like the first time. So I did exactly that. It was the same exact experience. I woke up pitch black on my side, couldn't move, but this time I was much more calm. I wasn't praying. I was still a little terrified that that was like the end and I was gonna die, but I knew that it would go away eventually. So I just kind of waited there until I got out of it, and then I just like could breathe again, and it was all good. Now those are like the first, I remember those vividly. Like, I know exactly how those went down, and ever since that I get it so often that I can't pinpoint like a day or a year anymore, because it happens so much. And every experience that I have, some are very similar to other ones and some are really different. So I have different kinds, I would say. I haven't had a sleep paralysis like that one, where it's just everything's like pitch dark and I can't see anything and I can't move, and obviously I try to scream in every single time I have it, because I feel like, you know, you feel scared and your body senses like screaming, like help me, you know. So like that happens every time I have it. But now it's almost much more calm. I have different kinds. There's one that I call my ins and my outs. So this is a form of sleep paralysis that I get, where I'm just kind of laying in bed and I feel like I just keep going in and out of it. It kind of feels like I'm doing this, and it just feels like I'm in it, and then I'm like awake, and then I'm like asleep, and I'm awake, but I can't move my body, and I can't control if my eyes are open or closed. Like, I can't control anything that happens, but I know I'm like, oh, I'm having a sleep paralysis. Like, I know what it's like, and this is like the exact same kind I had Monday a few days ago. So I'm really like, I know that I just need to like I need to just deal with it. I just kind of lay there, my eyes closed, and I just kind of fall asleep or wait to get out of it, and I'm awake. So I get that, and it's usually just like whatever. It doesn't last too long, I think. And then I get that mixed with hallucinations. So a lot of different people get a different type of hallucination. I know people hallucinate like a lot of demons and things like that. What I hallucinate is my family. So I actually hallucinate my mom, my sister, and my boyfriend Edgar. And the first time this ever happened, I was like, what the heck? Like, I remember just like, I was kind of I had this form of sleep paralysis in the day. I remember it was like maybe last year or 2 years ago in summer. And I remember just waking up and not being able to move, sleep paralysis. I knew what was going on. And I remember seeing my sister and my boyfriend just right next to me. So I instantly felt like a calm, and I was like, I felt safe. And I saw my mom at the doorway, like in my room. So I was like, oh my god, like they're here with me, like I'm fine, I'm safe. And then when I got out of sleep paralysis, they weren't there anymore. So I hallucinated them. And the reason I think I hallucinate them is because when your body is in a state of fear, I think it immediately tries to go to what's going to make you feel safe and make you feel comfortable. And I think that's why it hallucinates them. Even though in my mind, I know I'm not going to, sleep paralysis isn't going to kill me. It's still a very shocking thing for your body to deal with because it's not used to your mind and your muscles not connecting. So immediately when it feels in a sense of danger, it's going to go to the things that protect it and make it feel safe. So that's why I think I hallucinate them, and I hallucinate them often. So one time I was having sleep paralysis in the middle of the day. I would have it a lot during like summer or when I have like breaks because I get in really irregular sleep patterns. So I think that's kind of what triggers it more. So I remember I was having it and I see my dad at my doorway, but I was having sleep paralysis and obviously I can't scream for help even though I was like, Dad, like help me, like screaming. And I didn't know if I was hallucinating him or if he was real. And I remember like the next time I saw him, I talked to him, I was like, did you see me like when I was sleeping? He was like, yeah. And I was like, I was like, I was having sleep paralysis. He's like, you were? He was like, it looked kind of like you were like being weird, like making like mumbling noises, like kind of like moving like, because I was having an in and out where I'm kind of like mumbling, but I can't like move my body, and I was screaming. So I kind of feel like even though I'm screaming and nothing's coming out, I feel like my body is probably like I'm making like some sort of mumbling noise. So I feel like that's what he heard and kind of saw, but he just kind of ignored it. It was like, oh, whatever, like she's trying to go to sleep, probably having a nightmare or something like that. But I was actually screaming for help, like Dad, like screaming, like help me, because I was having sleep paralysis. And yeah, when I told him, he was like, oh my gosh, like if I ever see that again, like I'll do something. So yeah, but that was definitely scary and weird because no one's ever seen me have sleep paralysis besides him, so it's crazy. Now I'm kind of talking about really weird situations. I know that a lot of people, when they have sleep paralysis, they hallucinate demons or they see demons, whatever you believe. More recently, a few months ago, I actually saw a demon for the first time during my sleep paralysis. It was right here on this bed. I was sleeping facing this way, so my body was like on this shoulder, and I remember waking up and I saw, like, if you guys ever seen the movie Venom, I saw literally that monster screaming in my face, and I was so scared. I couldn't do anything about it because you're frozen, you're terrified, you really can't do much. And I remember just closing my eyes and like, oh my gosh, go back to sleep. And I remember going to sleep and just gone. It was gone. Whatever I hallucinated. I haven't hallucinated anything like that since, and I've never hallucinated anything like that before that, so it's only happened to me one time. I know that a lot of people hallucinate demons mostly all the time, and I know a lot of people, just like how I talked about Incubus, where he sat on people's chest, a lot of people feel like a demon like pushing on their chest, and I don't sleep on my back, so I'm pretty sure that's why that's never happened to me personally, because maybe if I slept on my back, then I would definitely see more paranormal things on my chest, but I don't. So yeah, that is my experience with sleep paralysis. Like I said, I have it a lot, and I've kind of learned now that I'm pretty used to it. Like, a lot of people talk about it and they're like, that's so scary, like I could never imagine having that, but when it happens a lot, you get used to it, and I definitely have gotten used to it, even though it's still a scary thing. I just kind of like, sleep paralysis again, like I get it so much, and I've kind of learned how to get out of it. Like, you just have to like wiggle your toes a little bit and slowly start letting your mind and body connect. But it's definitely a scary thing when you first get it, and all I can really say is like, don't be so scared. Like, it's gonna be okay, even if there's a demon screaming at you, or if there's a demon in the corner, or if I don't even know, who knows what. But it's definitely scary, and I know there's people that have way more scary experiences than me, but I think every person gets affected by it differently, so you can't really judge someone else's sleep paralysis and compare it to yours, because at the end of the day, we're all terrified, and it's a really scary thing. So now that I've talked about my experiences and everything, I'm gonna go ahead and answer some questions. I put up a little questions thing on Instagram and got some questions, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer those. First question: are those memes of what people see when they have sleep paralysis true? So I know there's like a lot of memes of like what I see in the corner of my room when I have sleep paralysis, and it's like someone like a little kid doing like a Fortnite dance or something stupid. Or sometimes it's like something really scary, like, hi sisters! You know, I don't know. For some people, I believe it is true, and people definitely do see demons or figures staring at them from the corner of the room. For me personally, that's never happened, but I do believe that has happened to a few people. So that is, in a sense, true. When you see someone, are they able to talk to you? Like a demon? I'm gonna assume it's like a demon or like a person maybe. Because if it's just like a normal person, of course they can talk to me. I just can't talk back to them because I'm frozen and I can't make any physical noise. If it's like a demon, I guess it depends on what you're hallucinating. If you're hallucinating something like a little kid or like a demon, it can probably like say stuff to you and like freak you out. But I think it varies. Obviously, if it's a person, I can't talk back to them. They can definitely talk to me. Is the demon cute? Yes, I'm just kidding. No, scary, literally terrifying. But yeah, funny. How do you feel after it happens? You better use this one. Honestly, the first time, why did I say it like that? That's so gross. Honestly, the first time I ever had it, I felt terrified, shocked, didn't know what it was really confused. Just kind of like, what the heck, like what just happened, like am I sick? I didn't know if I was like mentally sick or like something on my brain or I don't know what. Now that like when it happens, like I'm just kind of like great, and then I forget I had it like the next day. Like I don't tell anybody anymore because I always have it. It's like, wow, you had sleep paralysis again, like that's boring. Like you always have it. So it's just kind of like whatever now. Like I just kind of feel like I don't feel scared anymore. Do you ever feel as if you can't talk, like you are trying but can't seem to? Yeah, that happens to everybody. We all try to scream, we all try to talk, but since our brain and our muscles aren't moving, there's obviously not going to be anything coming out of your mouth because you need muscles to talk. So yeah, but that does happen to everyone. Everyone's like, I always try to scream and ask for help, but nothing comes out. So that's just the way it is. Why do we see things and why do they stare? So like I said, it depends on what you believe. If you believe it's something supernatural, then it's like a demon staring at you. Or if you believe it's medical or science, it's just what your mind is hallucinating. And at that time, if you're probably, I've never been really big like horror film watcher. Like I don't really watch horror movies. They don't like intrigue me. I'll watch one if like someone wants to, like I'll watch it, but I don't like watch it on my own. Not necessarily because they scare me. Like some of them are scary, but I just don't find them, like they're not my kind of movie. You know, they're not my kind of thing. So maybe if you're more into that, then you're more likely to hallucinate things like that because you see things like that more often. It's more often in your brain. So yeah, it's just whatever you're hallucinating and just decides to stare at you. Just close your eyes and wait for it to be over, because that's like what I did when I saw Venom, literally. Yeah, that is all the questions, I think. If I didn't answer your question, it's because I already answered it at some point in this video. So yeah, thank you for everyone that sent in questions. That was really nice because I needed those. And yeah, that's actually the end of this video. I really want to know what you guys thought about it. I know it's a really different kind of video and definitely for a different audience than like probably what I have on my channel right now with like all the videos that I've done before this one. So if you guys found it interesting or cool to talk about something a little more paranormal or more just like mind quaking, I don't know, that's gross, let me know because I'm totally into it and I would love to talk about other things like sleep terrors or any paranormal things or myths out there and stuff. I think it's fun and it was fun doing research on it. Like I obviously have sleep paralysis and I know what it is, but I still didn't know the history behind it and all that. So if you guys like these types of video, let me know because I'll do more where I talk about more stuff. And I could even do a video where I talk about other people's stories about sleep paralysis because that would be really cool to see like what other people experience. Let me know. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And ring the bell. Ding. And I'll see you in my next one. I hope this video wasn't awful.